Okay, this is again part two, lap steel, Fender lap steel here in this case. Basically, simple six string, almost like a guitar. You play on your lap with a slide. No frets. These are just markers here. It's completely flat. And the slide, this is a Stevens slide. I really like this slide a lot. If you can see this, it's very heavy. It actually came with this. As far as I know, this slide is, a good 5-10 years older than I am. But it came with the guitar when I got it, including the case, the tweed case. It was amazing. And I really like the shape and the feel of this slide. It goes across all six strings. Basically, the way you play with it, I play it anyway, is with my thumb on the front of the slide, but not touching the strings. I can touch the strings if I want to, but generally not. First finger's going across the top of it, and the other three fingers are behind it. And they're deadening the strings, or they are bending behind it. And I'll show you that. That will be another video. We'll do that another time. Okay, so I was talking about learning your triad theory a little bit, so that you can play. You can find notes easy. Now, if I want to get, for example, if I want to get go from the 3 and 5 up to the 4 and 6, I'm going to have to actually twist the slide at an angle. Okay, quite a bit of an angle actually. It gets a little less of an angle the further up you get up the neck. Okay, but generally, when I'm playing slide on records or in movies or TV shows, it's usually not anything too particularly complex. I can read on it if I have to. Usually what they want is some kind of, like some kind of just bluesy power chord, or some George Thorogood kind of. And that's just, I'm just playing G, and I'm playing B flat power chord. Sliding up to the high G up here at the 12th fret. Okay. So, and then if I want to play chords like under a song, say the song's going to go C to E minor to G to D to G, I might play just two-note arpeggios, kind of, and then pedal in. I've got a volume pedal on the floor that I'm using to pedal. Okay, I might do something like that. The C chord goes to E minor, go to G, and then go to D. And like I said before, on the E minor, you can't hit that second string, or else it'll be a G sharp and consequently an E major. So you'll have to find other ways to imply a minor chord. So that's where theories could come in really handy. A lot of guys know the relative minors to chords. So like if you're playing a G C D C progression, you can substitute for G. Instead of playing G, you can play E minor. And anything that's pretty much sung over G can be sung over E minor. It actually has a totally different kind of haunting effect. I could take that C down to A minor, and A minor would work as a substitute for C, and B minor would work as a substitute for D in many cases. The opposite is true. Okay, so if you're playing it, the song is say A minor or E minor, A minor, B minor, you could substitute G, C, D for that chord progression, and harmonically it will create the same soup, as it were, and you can sing over that, and the melody that worked over the other three chords will work over these three chords generally. There may be some exceptions, but so in other words, when I'm on if the chord progression goes like C to E minor to G to D or something, I don't know. Let's see, better progression than that. Let's get C to G to E minor, or to D to E minor. Okay. So what I might do in that situation, and again, the major substitute for E minor would be G major. Okay, so when the E minor chord comes up, you can play G, especially if there's a bass player. If he's playing an E and you play a G chord over it, it'll make it sound kind of like an E minor 7 chord. So so the first chord C, I might play something like top 3 strings, or top 2 strings, and then it goes to G. And what I did here was I went up and kind of pedaled in, and I'm playing the middle 2 strings. So on top here, I've got E and G, and then when I went way up to the 12th fret and played the middle 2 strings, I had D and G. So it's very similar. The top note is the same. Really, only thing changed was the bottom note, but I had to make this giant move from the 5th fret all the way up to the 12th fret to get 2 notes that would be, so that you're not, the reason I'm showing you this is so that you're not taking like C chord and then G chords up here and then D chord here. You're not just moving a parallel, that you have a little bit more interesting note selection. So again, I'll start 5th fret, top 2 strings, and I'm going to go there, and then the next chord is D, so I'm going to go here. You hear that? So the bottom notes stay the same. I went to the 7th fret and hit the 3rd string, and then the 2nd string. Okay, and ended up with D and F sharp. So again, starting at the top, E and G, D and G, 12th fret, middle 2 strings, D and F sharp. Okay, and then here I'm going to go B and E. So listen to this. Pretty cool, huh? It's a pretty nice way to to harmonize, and you'll find yourself learning the fretboard better, learning harmony better just by playing a different instrument like this. It's tuned differently, it makes you think differently, and with a different tool rather than a pick. We're using a slide. Instead of our hands, we're using a slide. And what I did on each one of those, you'll notice I slid up, in this case, a whole step from the note below the bottom of the 2 notes. So I went D to E to G. Then I went C to D to G. I went C to D to F sharp. And I went A to D, or A to B, E. Notice you're not hearing any of the strings ring out, because when I'm playing those, I'm deadening. So when I'm playing that, I'm deadening everything with my thumb. The bottom 4 strings are deadened with my thumb. When I play these, I'm deadening the top 2 strings with my pinky and 3rd, and I'm deadening the bottom 2 strings with my thumb. Okay, and then the next one was see, I hit the G sharp and totally ruined it. Okay, so there's some more tips and tricks and fun stuff with the lap steel. I'll tell you another thing that's kind of cool. If you have, and I don't see one around right now, but if you have one of those tuners that clip on, it's kind of hard to find a spot to clip these on, but it's great for helping you keep the high notes in tune. And you can also, if you can't hear yourself very well, which is real important to hear yourself when you're playing slide, you can kind of use the tuner to tune your instrument as you're playing it. The guitar could be almost completely out of tune. It wouldn't matter too much since you can slide into any note. Okay? I hope this helps. I hope you learned something, and I hope you pick up one of these, because I think it's really cool, and you might be able to bring it to a few gigs and kind of wow some people, have some fun with it. Okay, God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.